162. Welcoming Chase Gormley here back to the program. Bobby Brents coming up on Bellator 162, October 21st in Memphis, Tennessee. Great card. Ryan Couture is on that card. Obviously, one of the kids that I watched grow up from a young kid to a ranked fighter. So for me, this card's kind of special. Congratulations. I don't think we've talked since just right after your boy was born. He's about 6 months now, right?
Months old.
So
big boy too, man. He's about the size of a 1-year-old already.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask.
Almost 30 pounds.
He's already pushing the top end of the percentiles right on everything, right?
Yeah, so he's tall, big. He weighs like almost 30 pounds. He's only 6 months. He's supposed to be like 20 or so. So he's already 10 pounds above that. So he's doing good, man. He's going to be a big heavyweight when he gets older. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you're 6'3", 264 approximately. You know, he's going to be every bit of that, if not bigger, is my feeling. Does your wife's side of the family have big people in it as well, or is she all small?
No, she's a decent sized woman. She's like 5'6", but not huge, but I mean she's a stocky girl. So, yeah, so he'll be a big boy.
It's interesting seeing how you look at kids and go, oh wow, that kid's gonna be an athlete because both parents are athletes, and the kid ends up being an accountant. You know what I'm saying? Or this kid's gonna be big because both parents are big and the kid's kind of average, average size, average height, but has that ability, has big man's understanding. Like, I know my dad was big and this is what he would do, so I'm gonna do the same thing, even though I'm only 5'10" or whatever. So it's interesting to see, like, in 5 years from now when we're talking, how big is he? Okay, and then 10 years from now, how big is he? It's like watching that progression to me is awesome. It's a fun time. So when the baby was younger, it was so much easier because all he would do was sleep and bottle fed or breastfed and needed a diaper changed. Now it's 6 months. He's got a little personality. He's moving around a lot more. He's into stuff. How has that affected your training? It's got to be a little bit hectic for you now because it's harder to get up and leave and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, my girl went back to work, I think about a month and a half ago. So he's been with me all day. So when I go to practice, I got to take him with me. I got to make sure somebody's there to watch him for me. If not, then sometimes I got to leave early if he's fussing, So that kind of frustrates me. So I have to go back at night and kind of finish what I missed in the first practice. But I train twice a day, so I try to make the best of the bad situation. You know what I mean? I get to take him with me and don't make any excuses and just get my butt to practice.
So where are you training now? Where's your main home for training camp?
Body shop, I say with Antonio McKee. We're over at Metroflex Gym in Long Beach now, and then I go to Tracy Hess's on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8, and then I kind of usually either do road work or something at night on Tuesdays and Thursdays after Tones. So I always make sure I'm doing something twice a day.
Two great places. Their guys are doing great. They got two great camps, Tracy Hess and Antonio McKee. Like amazingly good coaches to have. Who's actually going to be in your corner when it's time for the fight?
I think it's Antonio and Tracy because I know Kimbo's son. He's fighting on that card, and he trains at our gym. So Tone's going to go up with him, and Tracy's going to go up with me. So it's going to work out perfectly. You know what I mean?
Nice. And have you been? Who's been your training partner? Have you been working out with Kimbo's son?
No, he's a little too small for me.
Okay.
But I've been working with Lou Pauly, who is kind of the same build, maybe a couple inches taller than Bobby Brents, but I mean same build, big, stocky, good wrestler. Hard to take down. So it's been a good look for him. I got Emmanuel Newton, but he's not really a good look for this guy. He's kind of throwing crazy stuff. So, but I mean, I have good guys that push me, at least get me tired so that when I get in there, I'm not going to be, oh man, I'm gassing out. I'm definitely getting pushed in the room. I'm doing my 3 5-minute rounds with new guy every round. So I feel ready to go. I don't cardio is going to be an issue. For me, it's just his body type is really hard to fight. So I just got to make sure I play it smart,
And when you say play it smart, how do you mean?
Well, he wants to sit in there and brawl. He wants you to sit in the pocket so he can throw his big haymakers and grab that snatch single and get you to the ground. He knows how to win. He's not a dumb fighter. He's 17-5. So to me, I gotta stay at range, make him make mistakes, walk into my punch, walk into my takedown, and not try to force it into his game. You know what I mean?
For me, the biggest disparity I see, obviously, you're 6'3" or so. He's 5'9" and 254. So it's like a very short. He's shorter than me, but weighs 254. So very short, very squat, very stocky, which means you have to punch down the entire time, which is very difficult. Punching up is easier, and punching straight obviously is the best, but you have to punch down at him the entire time, which means you're going to have a lot more misses. It's going to be a lot harder. And of course, he likes to sit in the pocket because normally he's so much shorter than everybody else he's competing with. So you have to kind of think of, if for your boxing fans, You have to think Mike Tyson versus all the tall heavyweights back when he was competing. He'd have to get inside, weave his way in, and fight from the inside because he was so much shorter than the other heavyweights. It's got to be really difficult to find guys that can fight, that can just train to fight, not actually fight, that are 5'9" and 250. That, most people at 5'9", 250 are so out of shape, you're like, I don't even want to bother with them.
Well, luckily I have two. I got Fabian, who trains over at Tracy Hess. He wins all the jiu-jitsu tournaments around here for the heavyweights, and he has the same build. I think he's like a 189 pounder, but right now he's like 330, and he's like 5'9". So he's got the same build as this guy. Maybe he's even heavier than this guy. Same height, same build. So I got a perfect opponent as far as the training partner for this fight. So, and then I got Lou Pauly, who's not, the exact, but pretty damn close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been lucky as far as his body type and having training partners for it. So I've been definitely, I saw some of his fights. I saw some things that might work for me. So we got in the room and just worked on those situations. So I feel confident in this fight. It's going to be tough. Like I said, everybody says, oh, this guy's easy. We've never heard of him before. He's going to be an easy fight for you. It's like, yeah, well, Dan Charles is supposed to be an easy fight.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Take it seriously and get after it,
And to be honest with you, Joey Beltran was supposed to be an easy fight too, because he's coming up. He was coming up in weight to battle up against you, and that was a split decision win. I mean, that fight was razor thin. So these last couple of fights that were supposed to be on paper, supposed to be easier fights for you, have been really close. Now, is that, let's be honest, that been because of the baby and training and working and everything else is kind of getting in the way of actually being the best athlete you can be? Or was it that we went in as like just the matchups still make the fights, where it's like, nope, this just for me, these two matchups were really difficult?
I think Dan, I just didn't take him seriously. I thought I was winning the fight and got lazy and got cracked. You know what I mean? With Joey, I was hurt during that fight. I don't want to put too much emphasis on that, but I couldn't wrestle. Let's just say that. And I had to sit and bang with him, and that's what he likes to do. So I had to sit behind my jab, throw the inside kick, and I was just hoping. I thought for sure I was going to lose that fight. I thought I'm going to lose this fight, get cut here. It's the end of it. I'm hurt, but I had to do it.
Yeah.
So I watched his fight with Kendall Grove the night before, and saw that jab working for Kendall. I said, you know what, I'm going to try that. And I went out there and threw my jab in that front kick, and that's all I did, man. It wasn't pretty, but I got it done,
Yeah, it really wasn't pretty, to be honest with you. And, in all honesty, just like from a wrestling background and from a wrestling sport and watching you as a kid, growing up in the sport and going, I was like, I knew you were hurt, but I didn't realize you were hurt that bad. Because you legitimately were like, I'm not going to do any inside boxing. I'm not going to do anything. No dirty boxing, no kind of grabbing or pulling anything. I got to stay completely outside. I was like, wow, he really is hurt. And about halfway through the first round, I was like, wow, this is one of those fights that Chase should have not taken. Like, he should have called him, like, look, I'm hurt, I can't do it. But then I started thinking about new baby, the money's on the table. Like, it's like he's got to work, he's got to get the money in. Was that fight with Beltran? Were you at sometime about 3 a.m. waking up because the injury's bothering you? You're waking up and going, you know what? I might have to call this one off, but crap, I really need the money to get through this month.
No, I told Tracy, I said, I'm not going to take the fight, man. He goes, hey, you got to do it, man. You can't, because if you don't take the fight, they're going to put you on the back burner for a while. Who knows when you're going to fight again? It's like your first fight was crap. I was like, I know, man. And so I went to the medicine doctor, sports doctor, and just got him to rub it out as best he could so that I could at least function, because I couldn't even use my left arm. The pain went from my neck all the way down my arm. And I was like, man, I can't fight like this. But I just did the best I could with what I had,
And for people at home who have never had like a neck injury like that, where the pain goes down the left side of your body or the right side of your body, it doesn't make a difference. Not only can you not punch with that side, but you can't grip with that side. You can't pull with that side. You can't push for that side. So you're literally throwing a rope. Like you're trying to smack a guy with a wet noodle. And it's just like it stings, and you get the reaction that you want because you are putting that arm out there, and they're going to react because they get hit in practice. But there's no power behind it. And about middle of the third round, they figure out, wow, there's no power behind this left hand. I'm going to keep running at you. Now I'm going to eat the left hand and try to come over. And that's kind of what Joey did. He's like, I'm not going to get hurt by this thing. I'm going to keep running at it and see what happens.
Yeah.
So, that's good. But a good testament to your mental capability, because you had to mentally come through this thing hard and heavy. Where do you see yourself now in 5 years? You see your plan. You see where your kids are at. You know now, because you also have your older daughter. Like, things are going to grow. You can go like, okay, in 5 years from now, I can progress because the kids are going to get older. They'll be able to be a little bit more independent. I'll be able to keep training. And I won't have to be working in the club so much at night and the weekends. I'll be able to kind of keep my stuff together. So,
by the way, I quit that job.
You did? Oh, good.
After our last interview, I was like, you know what? He's right. Working that job. And so after the Joey fight, a week later, I said, hey, I'm putting my 2 weeks in, man. I'm done. Just going to focus on fighting.
So you don't do any more club work, just train to fight.
Trying to fight right now. I'm looking for another part-time job, but that one was just I wasn't getting the good sleep. Like I said, it was stressful. There was alcohol in my face all the time, which I was probably drinking a little more than I probably should. Not an alcoholic, but
Yeah,
I shouldn't. Period. So
right.
I was a bad influence all the way around. So I got rid of it.
I keep saying that to Antonio McKee Jr., AJ, that he's like, look, man, you gotta get out of the club. Like, stop working at these clubs. He's young and got money and like happy and was like, whatever, I can do it, I can hang it. But I talked to his old man, and Antonio was like, look, yeah, sometimes I gotta get on him. Like, you are in training camp. You got to go right from the club, right to bed. You can't be out hanging out and trying to talk to people and doing all this other stuff. It is a bad influence when you're. And I can't even tell you how many fighters early in their career in Vegas were nightclub security guys. And so working till 4 or 5 in the morning, getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and then getting up and having to go train because that was just the schedule, and watching them not reach their full potential till they stopped, until they got out of the club scene. Yeah. Good for you, man. I can't tell you, like I don't mind. I don't mind you working. Like, it's not the work that I minded. It was like the place you're working at that drove me nuts. I'm like, you should not be in that joint. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, go there and hang out in between camps, but
no, I took it to heart, man. It's funny, after our last interview, I was like, yeah, he's right, man. I should. And I actually went and just said, hey, I put my 2 weeks in, bro. I gotta make a change,
Good.
So the last 2 fights were such shit, man. I was like, man, I gotta change something,
Yeah.
I got a strength conditioning coach. I got a nutritionist. See how that goes. I still eat like crap, but I mean, that's a heavyweight in me though. So, but I went and got back on the weights, so I feel stronger. I still feel in great shape. So hopefully, this fight, I can finish this fight and make an impression.
Get yourself moving forward. I like it, Chase. I really do like it. It's good. I think it's gonna be a better you. More sleep, more time off. But of course, the baby takes away some of the sleep now that you were losing at the club. You're not losing with the baby.
Good boy. I can't complain too much, man. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Could be worse, bro.
It could be. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. You're gonna have one of those colicky, cry, needy. Those are the hardest babies in the beginning because there's literally can't even go to the bathroom by yourself because just every time you put the baby down is crying. But obviously yours is not like that. So.
Oh, thank God.
Chase, thanks so much, man, for coming on here. I really appreciate it. Congratulations again on the baby. I'm glad things are going well with you and the family. And I really am glad. I really am happy that you're out of that nightclub life now and able to go back to it later. Just not in training camp, just not when you had a fight coming up.
Sure.
But have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your training camp, man. Good luck, and we'll definitely talk again soon.
Thank you, Frank. Talk to you later, bud.